Hello everybody, welcome back to our 118 Amplified Survival World. I hope you are having a wonderful day. I just learned something very interesting. So I was looking at my Minecraft.net account, and I wanted to see when it was that I had purchased the game. And as it turns out, January 13th was my 10-year anniversary. So I wanted to make something here today just to commemorate our little 10-year anniversary. Maybe a little cake. We're gonna put a sign down, a cake on a gold block. There, 10 years, January 13th, 2012 to January 13th, 2022. 10 years, 10 whole years I have played this game. So in the previous episode, we built this here overgrown ruined temple, and let me tell you, your guys' feedback was fantastic. You guys really seem to enjoy this. I'm really glad, I'm really happy with how it turned out. And I also put a bit of greenness and stuff, like I was kind of talking about, into the big temple pillars up there. It just kind of adds that extra splash of color, you know? And in between episodes, I finished clearing out the land right here. It's all done. Say goodbye, no more land. So I got to thinking, since the last episode, what are we gonna do in today's episode? And one thing that I need for sure in this world is slime. So we're going to start by building a slime farm just beneath the temple build that we did in the last episode. So the first thing we need to do is set up this here beacon room so that we can mine this thing faster. It's important too that as we go along here, we also have to light up a bunch of the caves around the area. Otherwise our slime rate spawns won't be as good. So as I find them here, as I hear them, I'm just going to run through them and light them up real quick. So with all the items that I got from the big dig over there, clearing out the land, I put them over here into the I've run out of space to put this stuff spot. And we need gravel, so I want to see if I have any gravel. I'm finding that, oh look at that, that's a lot of gravel, that's good. I'm finding that the best way to get rid of all of the water, because my goodness, we have a lot of water caves down here. Look at this. This is one giant water cave that is inside the chunk. So what I've done is I'm just filling it all in with gravel so that we can just much quicker remove it. Oh, did I just hear that? I think that's a slime. Hold on a second. Do we actually have a slime here? Hey! Well, guys, the farm works. Thank you very much for watching today's episode. I will see you all in the next one. No. We gotta farm these things now. Give me your slime. Alright, guys. Well, there is the dig all finished. And I don't think I mentioned this yet, but there are 3 separate slime chunks that we're going to be using. So if I do F3 and G, we can see the chunk borders here. We've got 1 chunk, 2 chunks, and 3 chunks. All of these are slime chunks. And what I've done is dug 3 blocks past the slime chunk here. So if we were, this is going to be the chute. This is where all the slimes are going to fall. Let's just turn off the chunk borders. Now we have to finish digging out the whole area. We're going all the way up to Y40. At the moment, we're at Y0. Just got to prepare myself for a bunch of digging. Okay, let's do it. I just broke my pickaxe. Well, I was not paying attention. Okay. Lesson number 1 of mining out a big area. Pay attention to your pickaxe. You know what? I think there's a bright side to it. I can show you guys what I've been up to in the end. I started working on a fix, or just a better way of transportation here in the to the enderman farm, because when I was repairing my pickaxe going back and forth between that big dig, I decided to install an enderporter. Problem is, it's out of my range, so when I press the button to teleport, I can't teleport. I actually have to run a little ways. So this sign here marks that when I cross this threshold, I get teleported. I was trying to think of a nice way to transition into showing that, and I think that is the perfect transition, breaking my pickaxe. That was intentional, okay? I meant to do that. Hey, efficiency 4, silk touch, perfect. Alright, and then all we gotta do is add a mending book to it, and an efficiency 4 book. And we have the perfect pickaxe. perhaps I didn't explain it very well what an enderporter is, but essentially this is what I would see on the other end, this here, on that far end. So I have a button that when I press it, it activates a really long redstone line all the way to the other end. So imagine that this is the redstone line. And when I press it, it activates this trapdoor and knocks it down. Now I've got an ender pearl floating in a bubble column. So when I press this, right, press that, it knocks it down and lets me teleport to it. Now the reason why I have to go like halfway, to that sign there for it to work is because the chunks aren't loading all the way at the far end. So it's technically active when I go over here. So it's not active. And as soon as I pass this threshold, the chunks load in and the trapdoor falls down and I get teleported. Yeah, so what causes that is actually the render distance and the simulation distance here. I've set it to 14 chunks, the render, and then the 12 chunks for the simulation. And that's actually something I'm going to keep forever. We're not going to change it at that because I've been noticing like little lag spikes every now and then on the world as I've kind of flown around it. And I've tried a number of different things to try to troubleshoot it. I haven't been able to figure that out yet. So we're just going to standardize a render distance and a simulation distance and just call it a day, pretty much. But now the next thing that we're going to work on here is a slime farm. Obviously, that's what we're doing today. We're going to do the platform. So every 3 blocks, we're going to put a platform all the way to the chunk border, which is right here. And then the collection chute and the falling chute for the slimes is going to go right here. All right, it is time now to put the iron golems in. So what we're going to do is we're putting 4 iron golems all the way from up top here down to the bottom. It's going to be split apart by 3 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, go down. And then this will be the top of the room for the next golem, like so. And they're going to be 3 blocks deep each room, 4 blocks tall. So like this. This is the standard size right here. Okay, put a fence on the front. And then put a trapdoor, and then we're going to put the iron like so, and boom, we've got an iron golem. So the idea is that this slimes are going to get attracted to it, and the iron golem will not die, hopefully. That's what the whole point of the trapdoor is, because the slimes could technically jump across. That's to prevent them from like landing there and trying to hurt the golem. So we're going to do the same for the top, and we're going to replicate this on all 3 chunks. So we're going to have a total of 4, 8, 12 golems. Possibly even more. All right. There is all the golems put in. Looking really fancy. There's more than 12 now. There are a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 18. All right, we're going to see here what happens. So the slime's going to see him. He's going to... Oh, I forgot the trapdoor on that one. Anyways, I made a slight modification to it so that the slimes possibly wouldn't get stuck because those big chunky guys, they're 3 blocks tall, and this is only a 2-block gap. So they, in theory, shouldn't get stuck here, but I forgot a trapdoor there, so I gotta fix this. But yeah, it goes all the way down. This way they'll hopefully just slide on down. And then at the bottom, we're gonna have a magma killing floor. So I was just in the nether picking up some supplies. And here we are. The slimes are going to be able to dance around on it. And then beneath it, we're going to have a rail system with a minecart hopper going back and forth, picking up the items. All right, guys, well, I just finished putting in the redstone, and I thought I'd show it off here. So what we have is 2 separate systems. The first system is for the minecart hopper unloading. When the minecart will roll over top of this hopper here, it'll go down into that hopper there. It'll be detected by this comparator, which sends a signal up and back over to the rail, and it'll turn off the rail. So the minecart will just sit here and properly unload because it is an inverted signal because of the torch. And then the second is once the items go through here, it will go into this here dropper. So through a hopper line into the dropper, and it'll be detected by this here comparator, which has a redstone torch, and it's a bit complicated. I don't know why I made it this complex, but it's basically just a piston observer clock. So when it detects it, turns off this, which unpowers the piston, which brings up the observer, and then there's a clock that runs, and it'll dispense the items. So you can see it happening here, just like that. And this is here, right where the thing will drop out. We're going to put a soul sand and a bubble column going all the way up to the surface, where we will have a item storage system all set up. I haven't done that yet. That's going to come in a minute. Yeah, first I want to sort out this mess here. This is our beacon and all of our junk and so many chests. I think the fastest way to get rid of all this is to just put down a bunch of shulker boxes, load them up, and send them on up. All right, here goes nothing. All right, well, there's the chests all finished, and now it is time to figure out the storage solution. Where are we going to put the items? Well, it just so happens that the bubble column from the bottom down there actually connects through here, and this is the block right there. So that is technically, I think it's one of these blocks. So if we were to move that bubble column just a bit over, we could get it inside this tower, and then on the inside have a bunch of chests and hoppers, and have a whole storage room dedicated to the slime. But before we do that, I thought I would just take a moment and embarrass one of my friends who never told me that he was watching the videos. And so, hi, you know who you are. And also, I just needed a good way to transition into this next part of the video because I just went ahead and built some stuff. All right, so I just went ahead and put in the chests, and I think it looks pretty strange. Not gonna lie, the chests sticking out one block is a bit awkward. But I put in the hoppers in behind there. There's a water bubble elevator. If I could give a word of wisdom for all of you amateur redstoners, build yourself a backdoor entrance. It wasn't until like 10 minutes ago that I put this in, and oh man, does it ever fix the problems that I had. Going back and forth, back and forth. How do I get in? How do I get out? Yeah, build a backdoor. This here is the bubble column, or the water elevator. It's going to go around, whoop-de-woo, and then right into there. The bubble column goes straight up, and as you can see, those are the hoppers just tucked in there. Yeah, now we just got to put the bubble column in, and we're pretty much set. The farm is pretty much done. What is that from? Anyway, it works. The slimes are finally moving in here. Put some packed ice underneath it there because they were kind of getting stuck at this one particular spot, so I remedied that with a bit of packed ice, and then it slides up and around and right into here, the chest. Now we have a passive slime farm, 3 whole chunks doing our slime collection for us. That is just awesome. All right, guys, well, that's going to do it for this episode here today. But before we finish off, I do want to do another comment of the day. Last time we had King Z comment, and then this time I picked a comment from Artorvian, who says, "The ruined village area is looking great." Oh, thanks, Artorvian. Not sure if you've mentioned it already, but what's the lore around it being ruined? Ah, that's a very good question. And I have not mentioned yet why is it ruined, because I don't know. It's something that I'm leaving up to interpretation. Perhaps if you've got an idea as to why it's ruined, then, let me know. One of the ideas, or one of the things I'm calling it, the area is actually going to be called Olympia. So that sort of signifies like Olympics, Olympia, big grand stature with sports and games and life, and I don't know. That's kind of the whole vibe I'm going with Olympia. So maybe you've got an idea perhaps of what we could do with the area. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Olympia has fallen, or I don't know, some sort of cataclysmic events and the world ended, or I don't know. If you've got any ideas, I am all ears. But yeah, thanks Artorian for the comment. And guys, thank you very much for watching today's episode. I look forward to seeing you all in the next one, and have yourselves a wonderful day. I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.